I'm right here where we left off in the last video. And it's time to do the next steps. First, I want to add the functionality of getting actions or data from the database in general, but in this case, nice actions. Now, the problem is at the moment we won't have any. Therefore, we will create a seed, which is just some default data which will already be in the database, mostly for testing purposes. But there are applications where you will use it in a live application. Now, to create such a seed, we will again use the command line tool by typing php artisan make seed and then any name you want, but it should fit to your database table. So I'm going to use nice action seeder. So seed is successfully created and you will find it here in the database seeds. We got a database seeder here. Don't delete that. That's the default seeder, which will be run by the php artisan seed command we will execute in a few minutes. And we will have to register our nice action seeder in here. So just uncomment this and replace user table seeder by nice action seeder. So inside our nice action seeder, this function here will be executed. And so all we do is we define what should happen in this function. And we will insert some stuff to our database. Now we do this by creating a new nice action. And this is really simple, just by doing it this way, nice action. Now, to be able to do this, we have to import our nice action here. So we use app nice action so that we won't get an error. And now we can access all fields in our database just as if they were properties of our nice action model. Oh, and here, by the way, we have to write parentheses. So we got a name, and let's say we want to have our greet property. And we also got our niceness of, let's say, greeting free. Now to write this data to the database, we will execute a method, namely save. Now recognize that we never wrote this method ourselves. It's built in the Laravel model. So we get a create action, and I will just copy this to create two additional actions. The one we had, hugging, let's say that's a 6, and then kiss, well, that is pretty nice, so let's give it a 12. All of those will be saved, and now we can run this seeder here by typing php artisan seed in our command line. Actually, it's db seed, my fault. And now we got this data in our database. Now we want to display it in our home view here. We want to dynamically output our actions here. At the moment, we can't do this because, well, we can't access our database from this view here. And we shouldn't, because that's not the MVC pattern. We should instead ask our controller to help us out. Now we'll create a new method here first. Public function get home. And this function will return our home view. But it will also add something to our home view. It will give him some actions. Now this will be something, and it will also pass this to our view. Now the actions will be fetched from the database, and we will do this by using our model again, our nice action model. So let's type use app nice action here. And then in here we can fetch data by just typing nice action, so the name of our model, and then double colon. Remember the shortcuts we had in earlier videos? That's a similar thing. We can access methods on our model even though we didn't write them in a static way because they are defined in the Laravel framework on the model class for us. So we just want to fetch all nice actions here. And if you're wondering which other commands would be available, I will give you a better overlook over this in one of the next videos. And obviously, I will then also provide you with a link where you can look a lot of them up. So this will fetch all actions, and then we're passing them to our view. And in our view, we will dynamically output these links. So let's loop through all our actions with a for each loop. Inside, we will have a route. We will take care about this in a second. And we will output our action here. Let's see if this works. Actually, it doesn't work because I forgot to change my route here. As we're now using a controller and not our closure anymore, I have to change this here. So small things like that really make a difference, as you can see. So use our nice action controller, and here the get home method, and this will continue to have the name home. So now if we reload, I messed something up here. That's not correct here. I deleted too much. Don't know how that happened, to be honest, but that'll not work. And now we got our actions here. Now this is the complete object as fetched from the database, and so we can at least see that everything has the parameters or the values we entered now as Cedar, but obviously this is not the way we want it. So why does it look like this? It looks like this because we're outputting the whole action object here. We will have to only output the name to get this much nicer view here. And now we can delete this. Now to use a route here, I will continue to use our nice action route, and I will pass some parameter here, the action as known of action name. And I want to make sure that the first character here is lowercase, so we'll use the lc first PHP function because our routes are all defined in lowercase. So reload now. Greet, I greet you. I hug you, I kiss you. So that is all coming from our database, but it has a big downside. This is working because we get this three views here, hug, kiss, and greet. Because when we look in our controller here, we're executing this method here, and then we're sending the user to a view in the actions folder with the name of action, and we happen to pass greet, kiss, and hug, but it's not really dynamic, because if we were to pass, let's say, wave, well then we would get an error because we got no wave blade PHP. Now to fix this, we will have to find a solution to make this more dynamic as well, which we'll do in the next video. See you there.